first, and then a photo op at the very end. So we'll open it up with Ian.
Good morning. I didn't know we were broadcasting live. Anyway, before we get started, I want to acknowledge a couple of people that are responsible for these young men and the success that they've had that have led them here. So Zach's dad, Michael, his mom, Heather, Caleb's dad, Roosevelt, thanks for coming. With that, we'll open up questions for these guys.
How excited are both of you guys to be here?
I'm really excited. It's a great organization. You know, I think it's a great place to start my career. And I've just been on cloud nine since draft night, so I'm really excited.
I'm just looking forward mainly to the opportunity. That's the biggest thing I've always wanted is a chance, and the Blazers are giving me that. So, I'm ready for it right now, and I'm excited.
Caleb, much has been made about kind of your background and how you overcome things. Just what have you learned through that process of where you came from and where you are now?
Mainly just never stop working. That's my biggest thing. I try to care about myself. Is always keep working, always keep my head down and focused on a narrow path.
What was the hardest part in that journey?
Learning to trust people and know there's people working for you, everyone's working against you, and that's probably the hardest thing. Learning to trust people, learning to trust your own skill, learning to trust the work you put in, and that was probably the biggest and hardest part for me.
Was there kind of a defining moment that helped you earn trust?
It's just a gradual process. There was no aha moment, really. It was just all, it just took time and endurance.
Caleb, knowing that struggle and seeing all these pieces and all these steps go together, what did it mean to hear your name called?
On draft night, it meant everything. I was excited, and the way I'm wired is just the next day I was ready to how to be successful at this level, and that's just what I've started to work on already.
Was it a long wait on draft night? Was it a long wait on draft night?
It was a long way, but it's been nothing compared to 4 to 5 years trying to get ready for the draft. It felt long, but I knew the team that would pick me would really like me and enjoy me, so I'm looking forward to that here.
Zach, what led you to believe you were ready to leave early in the draft?
I don't know. I feel like the competition that we played towards the end of the season in the tournament. I started playing really well against that big competition against the best players in the country, and I just felt like my game was in the right spot to make that next step, and it's been a dream of mine since I can remember. So I just wanted to take advantage of it.
How does it help you too, man? Not having to come here and be a star right away. You came off the bench with Gonzaga and certainly contributed to everything that they were able to do. Just to be able to ease into things in that regard.
Yeah. When I went to Gonzaga, I expected to play a lot. That's what they told me when they recruited me. And they told me I needed to be, ready to start and all these things. And Shimmick came back, so I knew my role wasn't going to be a starter right away. So I just tried to embrace that role and, make an impact on the game and try to, affect the game in, positive ways and, contribute to wins in any way I could.
Terry, your initial thoughts on both Caleb and Zach, and from an encore perspective, maybe any hopes you might have or what you've seen out of them so far?
I like both of their demeanors on the court. I think they both are very competitive, hard-nosed players. They're aggressive, and I like their mentality. And probably more than anything else at this stage, I like the players that they're going to become. I think they're both young, they've both shown a willingness to work. The X and O's and things on the court will all work themselves out. But what they bring to our team right now and what they're going to bring in the future, I think is very encouraging. Just like I said, the style of play. They're different. They both play a different way, but I think they both have a game. They know their game, and I think they have a lot of potential.
Zach, one of the consistent things people say about you is that, kind of piggybacking off what Coach said, is that you're tough and that you compete. Where do you think that developed?
I think it started with my dad, because when he played, he wasn't like the most skilled guy on the court all the time, but he was probably the meanest, wherever he went. And so I think that kind of runs in the family. My sister's the same way. But I mean, I just love to compete, and that's why I love basketball, just the competitive nature of it, and that's just kind of it's kind of how I've always been, and that's same with working hard in the gym. You never want anyone to work harder than you, so that's just kind of how I've always been, and I've always tried to play with a chip on my shoulder.
Zach, when we talked to you on draft night, you said you hadn't really even considered sort of the Blazers roster yet. Have you had a moment to sort of think about how you fit with the rest of the pieces?
A little bit, not too much. I mean, I just know what I can bring, and that's just toughness and winning mentality, and regardless of whatever role they want me to play, I'm going to make the best of it and try to contribute to wins and get this organization where they need to go.
Zach and Caleb, has anyone on this current roster reached out to you in the last couple of days since you've been drafted?
I know Damian and CJ and Nurkic have all reached out to me so far. Damian tweeted me and Nurkic tweeted me, and CJ actually texted me this morning and said, "Just welcome to Portland. If I need anything, hit him up." So.
Same. Damian reached out to me, and I've talked to Nurkic and I've talked to Mo in the locker room since I've been here today.
Zach, this is kind of a hard question to ask, but in general, in the league, there's kind of a stigma about white players. That they can't play. Have you encountered that through your career growing up, and if so, how have you dealt with it?
I mean, I don't know. I just think, from a young age, regardless of, if I'm white or black, I just think that, I've kind of been doubted and, had certain expectations that, I've exceeded, whether that's on the court or off the court. And, that my mindset won't change regardless of what people say about, what my race is or anything like that. But, I feel like if you can play, you can play. And, I don't think GMs or coaches or anybody cares, what race you are. If you can play, you're going to get on the court. So that's just how I've looked at it.
Neil, heading into the next phase of the offseason, are you content with the roster, or do you expect there to be any more moves?
We're never content with the roster. Look, our goal is every day we wake up. Every day we wake up looking to find ways to improve the roster. To accelerate what we've been trying to do the last couple of years and make the team more competitive. So, I think people want to compartmentalize different player acquisition vehicles, right? The draft is the first one in what's a long process. We're incredibly pleased with what we were able to accomplish in the draft with both of these guys, and they are going to contribute. They're going to earn their minutes like everybody that comes into the organization. They're going to fight for whatever minutes they get, but they're the kind of people that we believe that's important to them. And from a talent standpoint, we're incredibly pleased we were able to get both these guys. But look, until we get to October and training camp starts, the roster is always in a state of flux, and we're always looking to upgrade, and we're always looking to accelerate what we've been trying to build the last couple of years. It doesn't go unnoticed. We know we have the youngest team in the NBA, but we also have the youngest team in the NBA that made the playoffs in back-to-back years, which nobody else has done either. So nobody is saying that this is all about youth and just the future and long term. What it's about is building this thing the right way so that it's sustainable, so we can compete now and into the future. One thing I think we've all learned, Roosevelt's here, played in the NFL forever. There are no quick fixes. Quick fixes create problems. That's what they do. And that's not what we've been about here. We've been about building something that can be sustainable on a long-term basis, and we're going to be competitive while we do it. And that's why we got two of the most competitive guys in this draft, because we know they're going to raise the bar in practice, in games, and in workouts every day.
Caleb, can you maybe speak to what Roosevelt has meant to you in your life?
He's meant a lot for me. It gave me structure early on, support, everything you'd want a father to do for you, show me a way to get here, and, just always held me accountable, and always told me the truth with everything I did, and that's all I can really ever ask for from someone.
Guys, has there been a perception with Portland, whether it's the city or with the team? What have people told you about this place?
The biggest thing that's been consistent through everyone, they said the fan base is really strong. Guys, they show up to the game, they support the team, and they're passionate about the Trailblazers and things like that. That's something that I've been hearing since I've been here a lot.
Yeah, just what Caleb said, just the fan base I've heard and I've seen over the years is just incredible. And I think we're both looking forward to playing for a fan base that, that's undying support. It's easy to play that way.
Caleb, what do you see yourself playing here? I mean, I know we're kind of evolving into a thing where positions don't really matter, but where do you see yourself playing?
Not to be too simple, I see myself playing basketball, and what I mean by that is you get on the court by doing passing, rebound, shooting, defending, and doing those things. And if you can do those things and help your team win, you'll find yourself on the court. And it doesn't matter what you can do on offense, it matters who you can guard. So wherever they feel like I can guard best is where I'll play.
How can you guys make each other better too? Because you're obviously in that gym right next to us, banging against each other for the next so many years, just bettering each other together.
I just think, we don't take it easy on each other. And obviously we're teammates, we're family at the end of the day, but, on the court, the only way we're going to get better is if we go at each other. And I think we just got to be as competitive as we can. And like I said, just go at each other every day and don't take it easy on each other.
Terry, how quickly do you sort of turn the page into thinking about how these guys fit? I mean, was that like immediately on draft night, or do you wait into the summer?
Well, as soon as we drafted them, I watched some edits on both of them just to kind of get a better feel for who they were as players. It's a process over the summer. We'll have them in next week for summer league, and then they'll both be at Gerg's camp, and they'll be here in September. So I think that the next 3 months will be important for them and for us as far as getting to know each other and for them to kind of assimilate to what we want to do, and for us to take advantage of what they do. So, start of the season is always kind of in the back of my mind, but for right now, it's a process for both of them and us to get to that point.
Caleb, what makes a good rebounder?
Going every time, a mentality. It's nothing else but that. Wanting to rebound more than somebody else, wanting it every time, not being tired. So you just got to be in the best shape if you want to be the best rebounder.
Any other questions?
Neil, can you give us an update on the health of AC, Ed, and Nurk?
Yeah. So all the guys have been in, working out. They're all at different phases, from the post-injury. Ed is probably furthest along. He's actually in LA today with Chris Stackpole for a 4-month checkup with Dr. Eliatrage. So he's progressed to on-court, basically everything but contact. I think AC is 6-week post-surgery, so he's reintegrating onto the court as well. Nurk, as we talked about, he was incredibly deconditioned when we got him. He's got some imbalances, between his legs, which create deficits, which is one of the things that we've been hyper-conscious of from a return-to-play criteria. It's one of the things that Stack basically uses as a guideline for where guys are. So, he had a setback, having to take some time off to rest after the injury in the Denver game. So it's going to take some time for him to get back into contact, but he's in every day. He's working out. Everything's just controlled right now, and all three will be ready to start camp. But it's a slower process. We're being very diligent because the shape we got Nurk in is not where he would have been had he been with us the entire time. So we're not only battling the deconditioning from before, but then also the time away, that kind of moratorium he had to make sure that the bone healed. So, like I said, we've got to correct the imbalances and the deficits to make sure when he returns to play full, it's done safely.
To be clear, the setback was after the playoffs for Nurk?
No, when he got hurt in the Denver game. Yeah. If he was in the playoffs, it would have been a different outcome, maybe. So.
Neil, were you surprised when the cap came in, $2 million below the projection, and how does that change anything for you guys?
No, I think we all kind of saw it coming when we watched, Cleveland and Golden State sweep their way into the finals. It's something I think we're all prepared for. The league does a great job of keeping us apprised, throughout the season. I mean, those numbers aren't made public, but we had an idea of what direction it was heading. And then, like I said, basically when we saw what was going on, we know the value of, the finals games and what that means to the BRI. So we were prepared kind of in advance when we all saw what I told you guys we're all going to see after we got swept and everybody was, losing their minds. And I told them that get ready because it's going to happen to 3 more teams. So we were well aware of it happening and we were prepared for it.
So it won't dramatically affect anything?
No.
Do you expect to use your free agent tool that you have, or?
Unless we changed owners. Look, right now we've got 15 guys. Like I said, there's still a lot of work to do. We're going to explore every opportunity to get better if there's a player, available. But at the end of the day, using tools like that to use tools, there's $450 million in the marketplace this summer for free agents. So you're talking about a taxpayer mid-level. That what level player does that get? And is it even an upgrade over the players we have? That's part of the reasons we signed guys in advance last summer was anticipation of where the cap was going, knowing the value of cap room wasn't going to be as much because of the preponderance of cap room in the marketplace.
Okay, any other questions? All right, let's do the photo shoot.
There you have it, live coverage here on Roots Radio.
Jim, where do you want to do them up here?
Yep, right up there. Bruce is up there.